Cat Quest was one of those very interesting games that managed to deliver a great ARPG for casual and first-time players while being enjoyable for mobile and PC fans. And it did well enough to allow developers to make a sequel that is bigger, better, and I guess a lot furrier than the last game. As with the previous one, our story is both lighthearted and yet still kind of disturbing in the same breath. In Cat Quest 1, we learn that the game possibly takes place in a post-apocalyptic future after all of humanity has been wiped out. And that was a kind of a dark way of ending a game. For this one, this takes place in yet another future, where the cat and dog kingdoms are at war with each other due to their corrupted kings. And we play as the reincarnation of the first kings who must now travel their lands to bring things back to peace. And yes, that is a whole lot for a game with these kinds of cute and cuddly graphics, isn't it? But the gameplay loop of Cat Quest 2 remains the same. The land itself is handmade, and you're going to be able to explore it, completing main quests to move the story along, as well as side stories to unlock additional resources or get more of the game's flavorful story. And also expect plenty of cat and dog related puns all over the place. Now, the big twist for Cat Quest 2 is that we have a second player, and the game features local co-op as well as an AI controlled partner if you're playing it single. You're able to switch between the cat or dog king at will and equip them separately. This is also ties into kind of the new dynamic that there are certain enemies who are resistant to magic or resistance to physical base attacks, and it's important to spec out both characters evenly. And you'll still be able to upgrade gear, as well as spend gold to upgrade your spells, as well as to get into a lot more in terms of these side quests. In terms of the moment-to-moment gameplay, again, it is pretty much exactly 100% from the first Cat Quest. There are a lot more in terms of story and side quests in this one, and from what I played, combat is as fast and, I guess somewhat pun intended, furious as ever. With that said, this is one of those games that it does a really great job of being both a great first-timers kind of game, while still having enough meat on the bone, I think, for core, and I'm not sure expert, but maybe a little bit more advanced players. From what you've seen so far, you're not going to be getting into Dark Souls or Diablo-esque territory in terms of min-maxing and gameplay. I'm sure the game does feature advanced options in kind of the New Game Plus mode, but the base game should be accessible enough or approachable enough for anyone to enjoy. And there's enough side quests and bonus things you can do that you can use that to kind of quickly or to help the level disparity if the enemies begin to out-level you. But if you're good at the game or really good at this kind of gameplay, you can use that to fight higher level enemies earlier, get the experience boost, and thereby speed through things further along those lines. So with that said, this is one of those sequels that it does everything that the first game has done, but better. And if you've enjoyed the first Cat Quest, then this is definitely going to be a must-play for you, especially if you have a friend nearby to play it with. With that said, there's not really a lot here for me to nitpick. Again, what you see is what you get. But we're going to do our quick Patreon supporter and sponsor shout out now, and when we come back, we're going to talk about a few of my little UI nitpicks and quibbles. And now for a quick thank you to our current Game Wisdom sponsors and Patreon supporters. And if you'd like to continue the discussion on game design, be sure to check out our Discord channel, linked down below. With Cat Quest 2, there really isn't anything that I would say I found wrong or I didn't like about the game. Very much, if you enjoyed the first game or are looking for a light ARPG, then this is definitely one to pick up. The only real complaints I have definitely fall on the nitpicky side of things. The first one is kind of unfortunate, is that the game does not feature online co-op. And the fact that we always have a second character, it would have been a lot more interesting, I think a lot more enjoyable, to have a friend we could drop in and drop out with. On the UI standpoint, I think this is where my only real legitimate complaint is. That you're constantly having to swap gear and stuff between the two characters, and it's a little bit cumbersome. The first game also had some issues of the cumbersome UI, just due to how it was designed around both the PC and mobile interface. For this one, it doesn't feel like it's been improved. And the problem is that you're having to swap between the 4 main categories you see on the bottom, also keeping track to make sure that you have the right character selected. And this can become a big deal if you give the wrong character the wrong gear and stuff like that. Not, again, a huge damning problem, but it was one that kind of came up more often than not while I was doing my stream and recording footage of it. But with that said, that is pretty much it for Cat Quest 2 in terms of what I have to say about it. Again, this is a great example of a game that is aimed at a very wide market thanks to its approachability. And if you did miss out on the first Cat Quest, I would say definitely give this one a try if you have any interest in this kind of action RPG gameplay, but were put off by more demanding and challenging versions of it. I'd like to thank developers for giving me a press key to check this one out, and let me know what you think in the comments below. But otherwise, thanks for tuning into this video. Come back for daily discussions on game design here, and on game wisdom, where is in the art and science of games. Until next time, this has been Cat Quest 2, and I will see you all then. If you're looking for more wisdom about game design, be sure to check out my latest offering of books, 20 Essential Games to Study, aimed for first-time developers and students looking for some inspiration for their upcoming games, and Game Design Deep Dive Platformers if you're interested in anything regarding 2D and 3D platforming design. They're both available in print, digital, and wherever books are being sold. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoy things, be sure to do all the liking and subscribing that the kids are doing these days. Check out our Discord channel linked down below where we hang out and chat game design, and come back later tonight for our regular streamings. But that's it, and tune in for more great content here and on Game Wisdom, where we examine the art and science of games.